As the saying goes, if you're going to do something wrong, do it right. This video will offer you tips on making one of the most infamously bad games of all time bearable. And perhaps even slightly fun. Okay, so here's the thing. Upgrades in this game are expensive, and the game is hardly worth bothering with if you're going to just painfully slog through the whole game of broke-ass bitch spamming guns. So without further ado, let's get to spit polishing this turd. We've all seen this gag showing how ridiculously overpowered Dante's handguns are. But what if I told you that this was in fact not the optimal way of playing DMC2? So let me show you how to extract something akin to a video game out of this mess. Like in every DMC game, high combat rank equals cash money, and in this game the difference in what enemies cough up is enormous. So the idea is to get high ranks in combat as much as possible. But I know what you're going to say. The combat ranking system in this game is broken and garbage. Correct. But what some may not know is that it is also extremely exploitable. And this is where me turn DMC2 into something that might be somewhat worth your time. So how do we exploit this game's ranking system? It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. These 3 magic moves are all you're going to need to rake in way more orbs and engage your brain in something a little more interesting than pressing the shoot button over and over. Let's do that first encounter again, only this time we will lean on our 3 magic moves, which will raise the style meter every time we use one. We entered each fight with 20 orbs. Using the gun spam we gained a total of 30, and this time we scored 603 from these bozos. But there's more going on here than meets the eye. The style meter in this game drops super fast, as you've probably noticed. But fortunately there's a way to freeze it in place indefinitely. So long as you're rolling, the combo meter is frozen, as you can see here. And all it takes to revive it is this. You would never get away with this kind of chicanery in any other DMC game. But any other DMC game, this is not. DMC2 essentially boils down to a plate spinning act. Keep the combo going with rolls and guns and use the special moves to boost it. And when you reach showtime, cash in. This will reward you with more orbs, which means more weapon upgrades, which results in less time wailing on tanky bosses. Your 2 main adversaries here are going to be eating an attack which obviously kills the style meter, but more importantly, walls. If you roll too near a wall you're going to automatically run up it, which can very easily kill the style meter if you're not ready for it. But for this we also have a trick. When the stick is neutral the wall run mechanic is deactivated. So as long as we're not touching the stick we can tumble into walls all day without Dante doing his wacky Wahoo Pizza Man impression. Let's see another example of all this in practice. As you see here, I'm just about to lose my C rank. There's only one guy around and I don't have line of sight to shoot him. So I simply roll over to him. And keep the party going. Same issue here. Same solution. Now let's move on to Miss Trowel over here. Most people who won and done this game never even try this character out, which is a real shame since she's actually the more unique and interesting of the 2. All of the preceding also applies to Lucia, but she has a harder time hitting her magic moves on account of them all having really sucky range. But thankfully she makes up for this by having what is probably the most useful move in the game. To execute this move, hold lock on and jump forward like so. While in the middle of this animation you can mash melee to send out some flying kicks. These kicks are a useful move to close distance with and have surprisingly fierce knockback behind them. Also, check this out. You can turn it into an infinite. The timing for this is very lenient. And if you drop it, your reward is a 360 spinning bird kick. Lucia does her best to track enemies with this move, but she isn't very good at it. If you feel up to the challenge, you can even turn it into a double hit infinite, but this requires much more precise timing. The flying kicks also work when jumping backwards, which enables us to pull off stuff like this. A quick word on the spinning bird kick. This is a contextual landing move, meaning it only comes out upon landing on the ground. To do this move, hold lock on, jump into the air and hit attack as you land. Its range isn't great, but it does qualify as a special move. Once you acquire the cranky bombs inside the plane in Mission 5, they can essentially be used as a free devil trigger generator. To lob a cranky bomb, tilt the stick in the direction you want to throw it and watch your DT gauge skyrocket. Most people neglect this weapon due to how janky and slow it is to use. But it can be a very useful tool when facing bosses.
You missed me, bitch.
And last up we have Queen. For those who don't know, Trish is playable right from the start of the game and she is by far the best character. You are meant to unlock her after beating the game on hard, but with the use of cheats we can use her immediately. Start the game. Save to open a slot in the load menu. Input the beat normal cheat. Return to the title screen. And input the beat hard mode cheat. And hey presto! The game now plays like DMC1. Trish also carries over the shooting properties from Dante in DMC1 as well as his attacks, meaning you can shoot very fast. Holy mackerel, look at her go! Now, anybody who has played DMC2 at least once has probably noticed that so far I've been very selective about what I have and haven't chosen to show of this game. So let me reiterate. This is still DMC2, and still an objective blight on what is otherwise a fantastic series. Throughout much of the game most of these mechanics are going to be completely useless as this game isn't what you would exactly call fine-tuned. Devil May Cry 2 is infamous and its reputation is well earned. But it's a shame that so many people go to the effort of giving this game their precious time only to completely miss out on the very few worthwhile things that this game has to offer. Like most games of its kind, the best things about this game aren't something you're likely to find or learn on a first playthrough. But I feel in most cases, one playthrough is the only chance the game gets. So all these weird hidden mechanics, moves, and precious few saving graces remain buried for the most part. When I first played this game in 2003, I played how most people do the first time. Kinda like this, and needless to say, it was not exactly what I was hoping for. This franchise and genre will always be a hard sell to newcomers due to the concept that your first run will always be the roughest. And to experience what makes these games so beloved means committing much more than a single playthrough, which many people won't be willing to do on account of the turbulent experience they've likely just had. But DMC2 seems to suffer from this curse even from within the fanbase. A legacy cemented as less than what it actually is. And considering that what it actually is, was never much to begin with. I ponder only one question when it comes to the legacy of Devil May Cry 2.
Tragic irony or poetic justice? You tell me.